So for this question, as of now, we'll just focus on making the adjustments and preparing the financial statements. The remaining parts, the theoretical parts, I'll discuss those later on. Okay, so let's just read the additional information. So the first is that inventory at 31 December 2015, it was valued at 8,000. So I'd simply make a double entry, inventory 8,000, 8,000 in both the debit and credit column. So inventory 8,000 and 8,000. The credit one, obviously we know now that it goes and reduces the cost of goods sold amount, and the debit one, it appears in the statement of financial position as closing inventory. Okay, the next transaction. Yes, madam. Because that's opening inventory. This is different from that. Okay. um Inventory and the treatment of opening inventory and closing inventory is different, because the opening inventory, it has the effect of increasing the expense. So let's see, do they show opening inventory over here in this trial balance? No. So for example, let's just assume that there was an opening inventory, or just the inventory, so we know this one is closing. So if there were an opening inventory balance over here, it would have been in the debit column, right? Let's say 18,000. This amount, it has the effect of increasing the expense and decreasing the profit. Whereas the closing inventory amount that we are taking to the income statement, that is the credit column amount. And this amount, it has the effect of increasing the profit or decreasing the expense of cost of goods sold. So they are both opposite in nature. We can't add the two, and also we can't subtract the two, because that would misstate the amount of opening inventory. So we have to separately show what was the opening inventory and what was the closing inventory. That's the reason it doesn't, the closing inventory doesn't get added to or subtracted from the opening inventory in the trial balance. Obviously, while doing the calculation, they would get adjusted, but over here in the trial balance, we can't net off the two amounts and show one. Got it? And hopefully I answered the question that you were asking and not something else. Okay. Acha. Then the next transaction, the next additional information piece, it says the loan was received 1 April 2015, repayable, repayable 2018, interest is charged 10% per annum. Okay, ji. So this would have the effect, first of all, I would know where is the loan. Where is the loan? Loan. This 10,000. So it has to appear in the non-current liabilities, right? That's the first thing, because it's repayable in 2018. The other thing is that it says that the interest that is to be charged and 10% per annum. So for the year, how much should be the interest expense? Let's calculate. First of all, there is this loan of 10,000, and then 10,000, I have to calculate 10% of it. So that would mean 1,000. Would this 1,000 be my interest expense for the current year? No. Why not? Because I took the loan on 1st April. So it means the interest, it would apply from the date when I took the loan. It couldn't be that I take loan on some date during the year and the interest, it starts applying from the start of the year, right? So the interest expense, it would start from 1 April. So from 1 April till until 31st December, I've got 9 months. So this 1,000, I have to multiply with 9 by 12. So that would mean 3 by 4. How much is that? 750? So 750 is my interest expense for current year. But if I look in the Acha, there was an inventory balance given in the question. I couldn't see it. Here is the inventory balance. 5650. 5660, sorry. Okay. So the picture, it's a bit misaligned. So this inventory balance, it looks like it's the interest on loan. It's not, because trade payables is the credit amount, and then above it is trade receivable, which is 12440, and above that it's inventory, which is 5660, and above that there is interest, which I've recorded only as 500 for now. The interest expense should have been 750, and I've recorded 500 only. So it means it's under recorded by how much? By 250. So I would pass the double entry. The double entry would be interest expense debit and interest payable credit. बेबी आपके पास होगा ना, मेरे पास तो नहीं है। बेबी सो रहा है, चल बेबी को सुला दें जाके, रात हो गई है ना, बेबी को सुला दें। अच्छा ठीक, बेबी सो रहा है ना। 250 and 250. Asha ji, so that would mean that this interest that I have over here, this is the expense amount. How do I know this is the expense amount? Because it's appearing in the debit column. So 500 plus 250, that would make the total interest expense to be 750, and I will add the interest payable, or I'll see the accrued liabilities. इंटरेस्ट पेएबल, बाबा का फूल जी जी, बाबा ऑफिस का काम कर रहे हैं ना। अबू अबू जान भी सो गए हैं, अबू जान भी, आप भी सो जाए ना। Interest payable, this would also be 250. I'd see if there are other payables as well. I can club them all together in the form of other payables, but let's just see. Acha, then it says, then there are certain expenses which are, did you understand the treatment of interest payable and interest expense, this whole treatment for information number 2? Okay, then for third piece of information, it tells me that there are certain expenses which are owing. It means that by this amount, these expenses, they still need to be settled. So 558 and 328 wages, where is the बाबा के जी, ये बाबा का है ना। So to the wages expense, I'll add 558, which is outstanding. So I say wages 17310 plus 558. Okay, and the other balance, heating and lighting, 2772. So to this I would add 328 is the amount. 328. Okay, so I've increased the debit column by how much? 558 plus 328. 558 plus 328. 886. So I'd add these two to other payables. I club all these payables together in the form of other payables. Or I could say accrued expenses. I could say other payables. Both titles would be fine. I'll say plus 558 plus 328. Okay, so as of now the trial balance is balanced. Adjustment number 3 understood. Okay, so adjustment number 4, it says rent in the sum of 800 was prepaid at 31 December 2015. So whatever I've written in lieu of rent, it contains this 3200 that I've written in lieu of rent, it contains 800 which belongs to next year. It has been prepaid. So out of this 3200, I have to deduct 800 minus 800. And do I have any other receivables as of now? No. So I can write it as other receivables, or I can simply give it the heading prepaid rent because it's just one amount. So I will write prepaid expenses, and in the debit column I would write 800. Now this prepaid expenses, it would be shown in current assets, right? And these other payables, they would be shown in the current liabilities section of the statement of financial position. Now, if you could please go ahead and prepare the income statement and statement of financial position for this question, and then we can discuss the answers further. Any questions about the four adjustments that we made to the trial balance? Okay, go ahead. Let me quickly draw the income statement for this one, and you can match your answer with it. So I am just for now ignoring the, or let me. Acha ji, I'll begin with the name of the business. This is Antonia. Then there is income statement for the year ended. Which one? What's the year ended? 31 December 2015. Okay, ji. The first item that I'll have is sales. How much is sales? 120,000. So I write 120,000 less sales return. How much are sales return? 7,300. So I deduct 7,300 from it. I get net sales 112,700. Then I say less cost of sales. For cost of sales, I'll have opening inventory. Just if you could match it with what I'm writing on the screen. Opening inventory is how much? Opening inventory is 5660. 5660. Then you have purchases 62,400. Then 62,400, you have less purchase return. How much is purchase return? 4190. So 4190. Is there any carriage inwards? No, nothing else. Acha ji. Less closing inventory. Closing inventory. How much is it? 8,000. Acha ji, your total for cost of goods sold, it would be 55,870, and that would mean your gross profit is, how much is the gross profit? 56,830. Acha ji, then we say less expenses. For expenses we have wages. What is the amount for wages? It is 17,310 plus 558. 17,310 plus 558. This turns out to be 17,868. Then I have rent. Rent is 3,200 minus 800, so 2,400. Okay. Then I have heating and lighting. Heating and lighting, 277 2 plus 328. Hmm. So it turns out to be 3100. Mm, erase. Acha ji. Then after heating and lighting, I've got motor expenses. How much? 1284. Motor expenses 1284. Then you have loan interest, which we calculated should be 750. 500 plus 250, 750. So that brings the total of your expenses to 25,402. So deduct that from the gross profit and you get profit for year. How much? 31,428. Same answer. Acha ji, moving forward with the statement of financial position. The same. I would write name of the business, or let me prepare on the other side. So Antonia, statement of financial position, and statement of financial position, we begin that with asset side, assets, non current assets. The first one is premises. Premises is how much? Premises 24,000. Right, 24,000. Then we have motor vehicles. Motor vehicles is how much? 7,400. So I write 7,400. So total of non-current assets is 31,400. Then I have current assets. How much are current assets? The first one would be inventory. This would be the closing inventory. So 8,000. And then I have trade receivables or debtors. How much? Trade receivables would be 12,440. 12,440. And then I have other receivables, which in this case is just prepaid expenses or prepaid rent. Prepaid rent. How much is that? 800. 800. And then I've got cash and cash equivalents. So bank is 5055. This would be 5055. So that brings the total of current assets to 26,295, and the total assets sum would be 57,695. This would be total assets. And then I have capital and liabilities. Okay, जी, for capital and liabilities, the first thing would be opening capital. Opening capital is 16,000. 16,000. Then profit for this year, which is 31,428. And then drawings less drawings. So drawing is 7036. So I write 7036. If I deduct this, the total of capital would be 40392. 40392. I wrote it wrong. Sorry. Acha. Then I have non-current liabilities. Non-current liabilities. The first one would be loan, the first and only one. That would be 10,000. So loan 10,000 done. There is trade payables of 6167, and then these uh, accrued liabilities, accrued expenses. So then I write current liabilities. So this would be trade payables. How much? 6167. And then accrued expenses, 558 plus 328 plus 250. So this would be 7303. And if I add this to the balance of total capital or total equity, this would also give me 57,695. 57,695. So now we can see the sum of total assets. It matches with the sum of total capital and liabilities. So the solution for this question is correct. So this is how we adjust, or how we take effect of the adjustments of accrued and prepaid expenses to the trial balance, and how they eventually get reflected in the income statement and statement of financial position of a business.